Say all glitter is gold. Half the story never been told. Now you see the light. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right. Since held together, we shall not be moved. Walk this road together, and we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. You ready? Here's Reverend Sandy. Hi everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Michiana Spiritual Center. It's always so very dear to me to see your lovely faces here and to welcome those of you who are joining us via our live stream service. Here at Unity of Michiana, we are a heart-centered, a multi-generational, and a diverse spiritual community. We're dedicated to teaching and practicing a positive life approach on our spiritual journey. And our vision is a world that is united in loving acceptance, celebrating inclusivity, harmony, prosperity, and awakened consciousness. So thanks for gathering together this morning in community and with open hearts and open minds and ready and receptive to the experience today and to celebrating that with each other. In Unity, we honor that Christ consciousness, or that which we would call that higher consciousness, the light within each and every one of us, and I will light our Christ candle in honor of that and invite you to illuminate your own light within. And will you join with me for a moment in prayer? It's wonderful to just breathe, to be present, and to recognize within the heart of our being, within our own soul, that we are here gathered choicefully. That there is that which has drawn us into this moment, drawn us to be together, drawn us to connect with each other, and to be a light in the world. And so we're grateful for the activity of infinite spirit. Beloved, gracious God, who fills our hearts, our minds, the activity of that energy of beingness that invites us into all that we can be. And for that we say thank you. And so it is. Amen. And now I'll have our youth come forward. Thank you. Oh, here we go. There you go. That's energy. Could we bottle that, do you think? Yeah, so let us just rub our hands together right now and activate within us that awareness of the flow of energy that's ever present. And it just helps us visualize and to then send that light forth. And so we say, we are grateful for your presence that touches our hearts. We are grateful for your presence that touches our hearts. And we send you on your day with love. And we send you on your day with love. Well, have a great time, you guys. And I'll turn it over to you, John.
All right. Love is why we're here. Let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Love is why we're here. Let us be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive. If love is why you're here, let us be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. Come on, everybody, sing. Love is why I'm here. Let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. One more time there. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can heal spirit gently say, everybody now, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thanks, John. That's one of the beautiful songs. There is only love. And just a reminder, a wonderful reminder that that is the base and the soul of our being. In Unity, we have a wonderful daily publication called The Daily Word with an inspiration for us each day of the Word. And I'm going to have Martha come forward and read that. Following that, I'll invite you to join me in a time of mindfulness, a time of prayer and meditation.
Our daily word for today is faith. I carry my faith in God with me throughout the day. I keep my faith at the forefront of my awareness, taking a few minutes in the morning to pause, breathe deeply, and place my awareness on the presence of God. I feel energized and strengthened. I expect all good things. As the day progresses, I pause again for a moment or two and affirm, God and I are one. I have faith that God is my source, is with me in everything I think, say, and do. At night, I look back on the events of the day and savor the moments in which God's presence felt especially strong. I have faith that awakens from a restful night's sleep, hearing a kind remark, enjoying time in nature, or spending quality time with a loved one are ways to feel the presence of God within and around me. And they shall stand every morning, thanking and praising the Lord, and likewise at evening. 1 Corinthians 23:30.
Thank you, Martha. So I want you to just join with me in this wonderful time for us each individually to center into the truth of our being, to open our soul, our heart, our mind, our body to the activity of infinite spirit, which is the flow of energy, the flow of creation, the flow of infinite love. And so we breathe and allow ourselves to be aware of every part of our body, to feel the energy that flows from Mother Earth up through the soles of our feet and from Father Sky that flows down through the top of our head and it mingles in the heart that is that place of the allness and the wholeness of all creation. And then we feel that energy flowing throughout us, in and out and around and through. And we call upon that. We immerse ourselves into that as we continue breathing and relaxing and letting go. And recognizing that this moment is dedicated to that which is greater than what we see in the outer world. This moment is dedicated to infinite connection with all that is, with all of creation, with connection with oneness, with wholeness. And this experience is something that we feel rather than think. It is an intrinsic truth of the design of our being. And as we allow ourselves to just be present to that, we feel a presence and a power within us that is of light and of grace, of healing, of love. And as we touch into our own hearts and release any burdens that we may be carrying, we recognize that we create a space within us to allow the allness of being to resonate fully and completely. And as we do so, we feel ourselves in alignment with the truth, the wholeness, the oneness. And we gently feel ourselves embraced. We feel ourselves inspired. We feel ourselves lifted up, we feel ourselves open and receptive to our infinite nature, whereupon every possibility lies before us to create that which our soul seeks to create. That inner impulse, that delightful desire of expression, the wonder of choiceful connection with others, the awareness that, while we are all different and bring different gifts, we are all a part of that which is the oneness. And we dance and we move in the light of being with a greater freedom as we move from that recognition of the seat of our soul, grounded in the love of creation, of love of all that is. Transcending outer appearances, recognizing it is that from which we are created. And so we breathe into that flow, that light, that life, that love. We take a moment to be in silent recognition, silent receptivity. As we are one with each other and infinite spirit in the silence. And from this place of oneness and this connection to all that is, a connection to limitless love and light, unconditional. We now take a moment to surround our prayer box in that light and that love. To hold all those requests in that consciousness of the activity and flow of healing spirit. We take a moment to speak aloud also the names of those we would especially bless right here, right now. Karen, Bob, Donalyn, Noah, the Martin family. Karen, Jen. Lisa, Mark. Wanda, Mary, Dale, Warren, Teresa, Linda, John, Jolene, Richard, Sue Ann, Unity Worldwide Ministries, Unity World Headquarters, Unity of Michiana Spiritual Center, and so we give thanks. In having set forth this intention, this mighty energetic prayer, that light and love prevail in and through all. So we say thank you, and so it is. Amen.
All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All of holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. This is a song I really enjoy the message. It's really good for Unity Church and Unity in general, and for Black History Month, I think. There's a chorus you guys can sing along with. I know I really love it when you sing, so please try. Yesterday we went and saw Emmett Cohen, a great jazz pianist at Notre Dame, so I'm playing all this weird stuff on piano now. So. Broken hearts and broken dreams, and bring it all and everything, and bring the song that you fear to sing. All is welcome here. And even if you broke your vow 1,000 times, come anyhow. We're stepping into the power of now, and all is welcome here. Lie, 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 lie. Let's see the Father, see the Son, a reunion united, and here they come. They're dancing to the sacred drum. They know they're welcome here. I see the shaman and the mighty priest. I see the beauty and I see the beast. Singing, I have been released, but I am welcome here. Lie, 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 lie. All is welcome here. Lie, 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 lie. I stood alone at the gateless gate, or too drunk in love, or too hesitate. To the winds I cast my fate, the remnants of my fear. I took a deep breath and I leapt. I awoke as if I never slept. Tears of gratitude I wept, and I was welcome here. Lie, 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 lie. All is welcome here. Lie, 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 lie. So bring your laughter and bring your tears, your busy life and your careers, and bring the pain that you carried for years, and all is welcome here. But freedom's not so far away, and there's only one price we have to pay, and that's to chafe our dreams away till they fade away. Let them go, fade away, live our dreams and let them go. Lie, 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 lie. Let 'em go. Lie, 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 lie. Okay.
Thank you. John, thank you so much. So my talk title for today is Love is the Key Part 3. This is, as we said, Love-uary, as they say in Hallmark. It's, February is sort of that month where there's that a greater focus or an awareness of love. So this is part 3, and it's about connecting with others and growing in spiritual community in honor that we will be holding our annual Unity of Michiana meeting following our service today. A bit of an update. I have been diagnosed with bronchitis, and I'm on a course of antibiotics, so I'm getting better. I apologize if I cough through this, and just if we could we'll just move right along as I'm able. So just want to let you know I'm getting better, and I appreciate all of your prayers and you holding me in the light. So last week we were talking, or the last couple of weeks we've been talking about love. And it's a big subject and not something we're going to, pinpoint. And yet we all seek to understand or to love and to be loved. And we talked about recognizing that love isn't something that we find first outside of ourselves. We find it within. And we talked about how important it is to be in the process of forgiving. Because once we forgive ourselves, once we go in, it opens us to also release others. And the process of forgiving is not making it okay, necessarily the events that happened, but it is letting go of continuing to run that story, that weight that we carry, and know that we're in the present moment. So we've gone through that recognition of the presence and the power of love within, and recognize how powerful, not the love from the emotional standpoint, but the recognition of love as the infinite flow of all of creation, of what we might call God, the beingness of everything that is. Ian Somerhalder, some of you may know him. He's an American actor. I have not seen him, but he's in programs I don't watch often. Have any of you seen him? Do you know who he is? There we go. Okay, thanks. But he says, this is so fabulous because this is a Gen X or a millennial. He says, love is the greatest force of healing that exists in the universe. Love heals everything it touches. Wow. And that's not about the place we come from in love where, oh, well, I'll take care of you, or I will put myself aside and I will be the good person to be out here doing what I think I should do. True love's an energy of being. It is that which we emote and share forth. And so he's really captured it here with love heals everything it touches. When we are open and allow that to flow within us, it's amazing the miracles that happen through that. And many of you are aware of Ernest Holmes, who is a writer and the founder of what was originally called Church of Religious Science. Ernest Holmes says, love is within us. It's not an emotion out here. It's within us. It's the essence of being. It cannot be destroyed. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is the only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. And in Scripture from Romans 8:39, it says, neither height nor depth nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love, it says, of God. I would say the love that is God. Because it helps us recognize it's not a God out there loving us. It's the love that is of God. That is the allness within us. The love as God. 1 Corinthians 13:13 says, and now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love. How many of you heard that at a wedding? And, it's such a beautiful statement. And it is speaking of the bond and the union of a couple in that moment. And yet it also speaks to the greatest presence and power in our universe. And so, friends, as we are going to, in a little while, be engaged in our annual meeting, it brings to mind an awareness and a focus of the importance of spiritual community to each and every one of us. Why is it important? And what role does it play in our lives? And we all seek connection with others. Even if we're an introvert and we kind of like to stay apart, we do all seek connection with others. Because the truth of our being is the desire not only to love, but to be loved. And so as we seek connection, one of the wonderful ways we can do that is in coming together in a place where we feel seen and heard and supported. And spiritual community is a wonderful place to be able to do that. Yet the thing that stands in our way so much is that in order to connect, it requires that we are willing to be vulnerable. Now we hear the word vulnerable. It's like, oh, yikes, right? I don't want to be vulnerable because it has a bad rap. You know, it's like vulnerable is a weak thing. It's a negative thing. Being vulnerable is the most beautiful, the strongest place that we can reside in, because vulnerability means we are willing to stand in the truth of who we are, friends. Wow. And most of our world and our outer circumstances are based on outer appearances, aren't they? You know, of I need to be as prosperous as the Joneses. I need to look good. I need to be thinner. I need to be fatter. I need to be somethinger. I need to change the way I do my hair. I need to, have better clothes. I need to have a bigger car. A lot of where we come from is in these outer appearances. And then when we come together in spiritual community, in order for us to connect with someone else and to be seen, it means taking down those walls. And it's not as much even what other people expect, it's what we expect of ourselves. So it's about a willingness to kind of look within ourselves and make those choices. Am I willing to share? Am I willing to stand in my truth? Am I willing to stand in my inherent radiance and beauty that doesn't fit the picture of anybody else? And so spiritual community becomes a very sacred, a very special place to join together. Dan Wakefield, a screenwriter and American novelist, said, "Simply being with other people who are also seekers and who are involved in the same quest you are is very meaningful." And Margaret J. Wheatley, I've quoted her recently also. She's a management consultant, a writer, and a speaker. She says, "When we seek for connection, we restore the world to wholeness," friends. Because isn't there an awful lot of separateness going on out there? A lot of you and them, politically, in the isms that we experience in our world, the beliefs. We forget that our lives become meaningful when we discover how truly necessary we are to each other. And when we begin to take down those barriers in order to be good enough and be okay and be loved, when we just are simply who we are and we stand in our truth. Have you ever experienced someone just truly being there with you, listening wholly and fully, and not needing to look any different or be any different? Those are our best friends, sometimes our families, sometimes our outer families. And isn't it wonderful because we feel that exchange of connection? Alice Waters, who's a novelist, a poet, a social activist, she said, "This is the power of gathering. It inspires us delightfully to be more hopeful, more joyful, more thoughtful, in a word, more alive." So friends, this is just really a time to be aware of what spiritual community means to you, what it means to each of us, why we gather together, that choicefulness in us that we all seek to connect with others. We all seek to be loved. We all seek to be nurtured, to be inspired, to be upheld, to have camaraderie, to play, to have fun. And in order to do that, it's important that we recognize we kind of need to show up, don't we? And how easy is it to kind of be back in our own little world? I can do this all on my own, and until everything hits the fan. And then it is so overwhelming, we remember and recognize the importance of being with others and that support and coming together to explore and to be with one another. Doc Childra and Howard Martin who together wrote the Heart Math Solution and are part of the Heart Math program that recognizes that the true wisdom and intelligence does not start in the brain. It actually starts as an impulse in the heart and moves up into the brain to activate centers of reasoning and so forth. But heart math is a wonderful way to touch into the soul of our being. Excuse me. Whether a biological family or an extended family of people attracted to each other based on heart resonance and mutual support, the word family or community implies warmth, a place where the core feelings of the heart are nurtured. Don't we all seek nurturing? While we have differences, we remain family or community by virtue of our heart connection. Family provides necessary security and support and acts as a buffer against external problems. A family or a community made up of secure people generates a magnetic power, friends, that can get things done. They are the hope for real security in a stressful world. And so as we come together here as community, we are of that greater heart family. We choicefully show up, we want to engage, we want to share with each other. In Scripture from Romans 1, 11, 12, it says, "For I am longing to see you so that I may share with you some spiritual gift to strengthen you, or rather, so that we may be mutually encouraged by each other's faith, both yours and mine." Wow. Do we always think about when we come that we're here for ourselves, which is really important first, yet we're also here with each other. And as we ourselves go through our own healing, do you not experience as you watch someone go through something that opens their heart, that it helps you to open yours as well? And that's the gift and the treasure of being together in spiritual community. From 1 John 1:7, it says, "But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light," meaning the Christ consciousness or the Christ, "we have fellowship with one another." So friends, when we're willing to walk in that light, to show up, to be present, miracles happen, things open. We can be with each other, we can be witness to each other, we can support and share. So I'm curious, for those of you who are here in the room or those of you who are online, what is it that is most important to you about coming to spiritual community or being a part of, whether it's through, these wonderful technologies or being right present in the room? What's most important? Yeah, go ahead, Sue. There we go. Fellowship, that camaraderie, that place where you can have fun and you can break bread together and you can say hi, and which you do so magnificently as our wondrous greeter at the door, and who does not walk in this door but yet feel so loved by you, Sue. And that's what we're talking about in community, because that's a gift of who you are. Your heart resonates with that, and you just let it shine. Anybody else? Yeah, Susan.
So Vicki Thompson says, feeling connected with positive people.
There we go. Feeling connected with positive people. Yeah. Miss.
I enjoy the meditation, and then I also enjoy the message and just the reminder that, the spirit and the God lies within us, and that it relates so much to how we treat each other in community.
Thank you. So Misty was sharing that she really appreciates the meditation time, or that time to be quiet, because in the busy world sometimes we don't stop or take the time to do that. And then when we gather together, it says in Scripture, where two or more gathered in my name, there I am. Excuse me. And And there is a power. There's a, a magnification of that. And then she was sharing, and then a message, whether it's something I say, whether it's something you hear from someone as you talk afterwards in fellowship hall. It's so important, that we have that feedback, that we connect with each other and get a little bit of a respite from sort of the stuff that goes on in everyday life out there. Yeah, Susan.
So Vicki Thompson also says wonderful music and singing together. Linda Hardy says my soul being fed. And Tamara Ashley says comfort with similar-minded folks.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes, oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I have so many. It's hard to
Well, just spit them all out. We'll take them all. Colleen's going to share a lot.
think. One thing is just having people to be on the journey with. We're going through the highs and the lows together. When you're at a low, you can lean on them, or at a high, you can celebrate with them. And I think just being connected to this community where, like, I feel like people really see my light, and I really see their light here.
Yes.
And that's not always the case, in our normal day-to-day interactions, so that's special.
Absolutely. That place of being seen, as you said. And not everyone sees us in our wholeness and in the truth of who we are. It's not as easy sometimes out in our world. And yet you shine that light. Not everybody sees that light. But Colleen was saying she feels seen here. And she feels she can share that light and join together. Yeah. Susan.
And Teresa Anderson says a community that respects and loves you.
So a community that reminds each of us, a place where we can come to remember that we are respected. And that starts within our own heart, but sometimes we lose track of that, don't we? We forget. And then when someone can mirror that to us, we go, yeah, that's right. I'm a child of the allness of being. I'm infinite in nature. Thank you for reflecting that to me, and now I can reflect that back to you. And absolutely, Teresa, that sense then of self-respect and connection with self is so important. Anybody else? So in coming together in whatever spiritual community someone chooses to be involved in, or in whatever way, for those of you who join us online, it's so wonderful to have you be a part of. For those of you that are here, there are times when it's difficult to even get ourselves to be present and to show up. And usually I know for me, when that is when I've got something going on in me that I'm feeling not too great about, or I've lost sight of something, and it's kind of hard to come and be with. And then plus in society, the whole idea of spiritual community or church has changed so greatly. And it's no longer about you should and you have to and you always have done this. It is now about choice. And so it requires from us sometimes a little kick in the butt for ourselves, sometimes great choicefulness to get ourselves here and present. When we're up against our stuff, when we're not feeling that great, and to remember that this is a place where, not where fingers are being pointed, a place where we are allowed to be in our grieving, to be in our concerns, our fears, to be in our sorrows. We can also be in the joy of the moment. We can be all of who we are. And so recognizing the gift that is here. Sometimes, though, it takes a little bit of oomph to get ourselves or to become present. And then once we do, how many of you it's like, oh, I don't want to get up, or, I don't want to go out somewhere. And once you do, it's like, oh, then you feel the energy of it, don't you? You're just like, I'm excited, okay. You get here, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember how good this feels. And that's a part of that we've kind of lost sight of, I think, of the importance of not just doing it on our own, because, man, I don't know about you, but I can just fake myself out. I'm fine. And down here, there's a little going on, and that's a part of life. And when I come here, it's like, it all comes out, and I can't fake, because there is a presence here. There's an intention here to grow, to learn, to expand. And so it allows me, though, that place to cry, to be with, to celebrate. And so once here, though, then being a part of is how we begin to serve. And serve, the word to be of service or serving, that kind of has a bad rap sometimes too, doesn't it? It's like, I should have to. And there's a lot of old paradigms of what it means to serve, to put others before ourselves. And that's not true love, friends. It's not. True service comes from that place in the heart of our being where we've connected to ourselves. And there's something that comes up that just wants to be expressed in some way. Doesn't mean we're a little scared to step out into it. Might be new, might be a little uncomfortable. But like Sue is a wonderful example of that. She just shines at the door, and everybody who comes in goes, well, my day's happy now. Yeah. And we each, though, friends, have those different gifts. Pablo Picasso said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Sometimes we kind of get stuck because we all are in a place of needing the growth and the learning and the healing and the support. And then we forget then to step forth and let it shine out, to touch others and to be of service in that way. Mitsugi Seotom, he's an Aikido teacher. He said, we must discover the joy of each other, the joy of challenge and the joy of growth, because we tend to avoid growth sometimes because it looks too big. That mountain is too high. And boy, do I love to have someone's hand to hold when I'm climbing some of those mountains. And Erica Jong said, the soul is awakened through service, So friends, it's recognizing as we come together in spiritual community, we do come here for our own support, to be uplifted. Connecting together in spiritual community enriches, uplifts, and inspires us, friends. Connecting together in spiritual community, it enriches us, it uplifts us, and it inspires us. And so when we kind of step past some of the resistances, the part of us that don't always want to feel too vulnerable, the part of us that, oh, something else is more important, and then we tune into the heart of our being and we now go, the thing that is most important is the heart of my being able to feel embraced, accepted, respected, and then where I can, who I can't remember who it was, Misty or Colleen, or who said something about letting your light shine. You know, you can connect with others and you let then your light shine. So spiritual community is stated really well in 1 Thessalonians 5:11. It says, therefore encourage one another and build one another up, just as you were doing. And Romans 12:6 says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. So each of us have different gifts. So as you show up and as you decide to serve, maybe those of you who love to serve in hospitality, who are right now back there doing that because they left the back of the room. And so we know Alex and Tim and I absolutely just, Chrissy, poof, they're away. Chrissy and Colleen and so many others who have participated in a hospitality and in creating game nights. And, you know, they're such a fun. And there's that joy in serving in that way. Those of you who are on the board of trustees, though it's sometimes a little scary to step in that role, there's that joy that we want to serve. We each bring our own gift. And it might be to play music. It might be to coordinate live streaming or doing PowerPoint or or holding someone's hand, or just being there to say, hey, I'm here. So it says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them, friends. Let us not hide them under the bushel, as it said. Let us use them in service with, whether it's out in the greater community or here in the spiritual community. Let us put them into practice. Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. And what that really means, it's not God didn't prepare something ahead. What it's saying is the godness of all being, the godness of all creation, that which is infinite humanity and spiritual beingness, that divine spark that makes every single one of us unique, that is created within us as our gift to give. We have that opportunity as we touch into it, may shift and change over the years. As we live into it, that is where we find the joy and satisfaction, where our lives become prosperous and opened wide through the service of acknowledging who we are and then sharing that forth. And so in closing, I will share a quote from Harry Nouwen, Dutch Catholic priest, writer, theologian. Community is first of all a quality of the heart. It grows from the spiritual knowledge that we are alive not only for ourselves, but for one another. So friends, thank you for joining in today and for bringing the heart and the spirit and the gifts that you have to give, each in your own way, and for how you step forward, for those of you online who share, who greet each other through that wonderful resource that you can. And it's a time to really consider what is important in our lives and how we want to show up and how we want to be supported and how we want to be the light of love in our world. So I will now run through quickly our announcements. And just want to remind you, of course, that right following the service today, we will be holding our annual meeting. And so what will need to happen is that everyone in the room, other than the two over there, will need to exit. And we have some little munchies in Fellowship Hall, some things for you to pick those up. You will then need to come back through the door. And for those of you who are members, you will need to initial your name so that just we are all within the standards of our bylaws and so forth. So we know who at this point are simply voting members. You are all a member through the heart and through your attendance and your presence here. So all of you are welcome. And those of you online will be coming on to us through Zoom. Susan will send the Zoom link at the end of the service today. And she also has emailed it out before. Those of you who come on the Wednesday night group, it is the same Zoom link. So you can come in through that. And so Susan can acknowledge those of you who come on through Zoom who are members. And that way, at the beginning of our meeting, we can establish our quorum if there are votes to be taken. So thank you to all of you who participate, who want to share your input, give ideas, and be a part of that. And we're grateful for everyone who will be here and join in that. We'd like to reconvene and gather in here by about 11:20. So please gather back in the room, grab your donuts and coffee or whatever. You're more than welcome. We usually don't have food in the fellowship, in the sanctuary, but you're more than welcome to bring your donuts and your munchies in here. And so we'll look forward to seeing you then. The Wednesday Zoom discussion group has started on a book study with Discover Your Divinity, a modern guide to affirmative prayer. We had our first meeting last Wednesday, and we're just kind of exploring how that will work online and reading part of the book and how that will go forward with some prayer. And so that's normally been from 6 to 7. We're going to kind of say from 6 to about 7:15-ish. So to allow us a little time for a prayer time at the end. So for those of you who care to join, come in anytime. we'd love to have you Wednesdays on our class discussion group. And if you are curious about knowing anything more about Unity or want to become a member, we have a couple people who I have asked to participate in a membership study group, and so we will be meeting. The class is offered for 2 Sundays, March 3rd and March 10th, from 11:15 to 12:30. If you are online and you are interested in membership, you can participate in that. You just need to let us know so that we can create that Zoom link so you can be in on that study for membership. And sometimes people who've been in Unity a long time are just kind of curious to go back over some of the principles. So you're more than welcome to join into that at any time, Sunday, March 3rd and Sunday, March 10th from about 11:15 to about 12:30. And then to save the dates, we have some fun events, some community connection. Mark your calendar for movie night on March 23rd and game night on April 27th. So that concludes our announcements, and at this time I'll just invite you to hold that consciousness of abundance and prosperity. Know you can contribute on unitymichiana.org or on your phone app. And we just affirm that flow of infinite allness and abundance, and let us repeat together our offering prayer. I am an open channel through which God's love and abundance freely flows. I give and receive with confidence and gratitude. And so together we know that mighty power where 2 or more are gathered, that we center our consciousness in the flow of abundance. And we give thanks. As these gifts are given, we know they are returned to the giver, heaped up and overflowing as a part of the natural principle of our universe. We say thank you. Amen. And now if you all rise, we'll sing our peace song.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. There be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God our protector, family all around. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let peace be our moment now. With every step I take, let this be our solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be.
And our prayer for protection, affirming this from the center of our being. The light that is Godness surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of Godness watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is, and all is well. Thanks, everyone. We look forward to having you join us for discussion and sharing at our annual meeting. Please go ahead and exit the room here, and we'll look forward to having you come back in.